Hello and welcome to another Warframe video. This time, I will be showing you two setup which you can use with Oberon. One is an ultimate healer setup which you can use in Steel Path and any higher level missions. And the other one is a one-shot setup for Eidolon hunts. Before we start this video, please leave a like if you find this guide informative, and subscribe if you want to check out more Warframe combos in this channel. Okay, now let's begin. First of all, let's discuss the ultimate healer combo. So, the description of this combo says it all. We will be focusing on his renewal ability, and to make it even better, we will be adding more healing effects to the setup. One of these is Garuda's Blood Altar ability. Now you can choose Trinity Well of Life, but I prefer Garuda's Blood Altar for this combo as it's better when it comes to healing, especially if you can stack up the effect radius of the 3 altars. For the build, we will be using a high power strength with some range and duration. To counter the negative effect of Blind Rage, I added Hunter Adrenaline for the energy restoration. The range in this build is obviously for Blood Altar to have decent healing radius. Adaptation is at rank 0, since we can still have its full 90% damage reduction, even at rank 0. The only difference is, a max rank adaptation can give you the effect much faster. To make the healing even better, I added Arcane Grace to the setup. But health regen alone won't help this build at high level, which is why I decided to add more armor with Arcane Guardian to somehow give more damage reduction to the build. With Arcane Guardian, the armor buff from Renewal, and Oberon's base armor, you will have roughly 84% damage reduction. This is enough to make the healing of this build very efficient. Now that we are done with the Steel Path setup, let me share with you the Eidolon Hunter setup. Many of you were asking my build on my previous video, which shows Oberon one-shotting the limbs of the Eidolons. Well, for those who thought that I was using a Riven on that combo, then you are wrong. The setup I was using was this. Honestly, although I know the fact that nothing can beat Volt when it comes to solo Eidolon hunting, but still, I really love my Oberon because he's a complete package, offering healing to lures, while having the survivability and firepower to go up against those big giants in the plains. The build and setup I was using in the video was this. A combination of max power strength and high duration. The abilities that were taking down the limbs and the Eidolons were Smite with its Augment, and Mirage subsumed ability called Eclipse. These two are a match made from heaven when it comes to Eidolon hunting, as it can help you take down the limbs in just a couple of shots. In this case, you can either two-shot, or one-shot the limbs with this setup. In case you are wondering why I put Rage on this build, the reason behind it is because I wanted my Oberon to be efficient when it comes to energy. The hits I've taken from Eidolon attacks help me regenerate energy with this mod, and this allows me to just focus refilling energy for my operator to stack up my Madurai Void Strike charges. Also, don't be bothered by the fact that this mod setup has low range, since Eidolon lures usually follow your Warframe. The radius is enough to cast Renewal and affect all your lures, but if it fails, then you can always use the Benevolent Decoy ability from your Omish or Archwing if necessary. Also, I added both Arcane Momentum and Arcane Avenger on my setup. Arcane Momentum is for the reload speed in my Rubico Prime, while Arcane Avenger is the catalyst why I can one-shot the limbs of the Eidolons. If this Arcane procs, then most likely it will only take one shot to take down the Synovia of the Eidolon. For the Rubico Prime build, it's always a mix of radiation elemental damage, critical damage, and chance, and then add a couple of mods like Vigilante Armaments, Wildfire, and Ambush Optics. And also, don't forget to have the Sarpa with the Shattering Impact mod to strip the armor of the Eidolons and help you do more damage. If you haven't checked out my recent Eidolon hunting video, then this was the amp I'm using with the Madurai Focus Void Strike. Remember that you should always use its secondary fire, as it will deal the most damage to the Eidolon shields. I only use the primary fire to hit the head of the Eidolon and proc Virtuous Shadow, but you can also dash on the head of the Eidolons to proc this arcane. It totally depends on what method is most likely easy for you. Now, this is not necessary, but if you have a Darzacavat with the Cat's Eye buff, then equip it while solo hunting with Oberon. The additional critical chance that this cat gives is good, especially if you are in the last phase of the fight. While the buff is not that consistent compared to Arcane Avenger, still, it might help you get some extra damage. So that's all about it. Let me know in the comments section what type of guide would you want to see in this channel. I also have some upcoming Warframe guides, synergies, and farming methods that you might find interesting and useful. And of course, I will continue to post some Cyberpunk 2077 on this channel. Thank you all for your support. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.